Can we play this clip of Ritchie Torres? This is pretty fun.
Yes, of course we can.
Look, this is our loneliness vertical.
This is Ritchie Torres apparently blocked me. I have never had any interaction with this guy on Twitter. I don't think I was following him. That's why I don't realize that he had blocked me. I would see other people retweet and, him telling me about how I'm not a good Jew. Mm-hmm. I don't think he commented on my parenting. But he decided that he was the new Pope of the Jews. Now, I don't know. Is he Jewish? I don't even know if he's Jewish.
No.
He may not be. But I find it impressive that he feels like he can tell me that I'm a fake Jew because I supported Jamal Bowman. Donald Trump does that too. This guy also, I think, has similarly thin skin to have blocked me without me even, like, I had never interacted with the guy.
And you say this guy, congressman. As
a congressperson, you should be open to criticism on Twitter. Now, mm-hmm. I don't think I've ever added him with anything, but I'll criticize him here. I don't know if he's got us blocked on YouTube, but here he is appearing on the Tablet Magazine podcast. This was a few weeks ago. We just found this out. I'm not going to lie. I don't listen to it. And it's sad because it's very hard for him, being a rabid Zionist who decides who's a good Jew and not a good Jew, to get along with his family and even to find dates.
An amazing vocal supporter of the Jewish community of Israel, getting a lot of flack for it. What have the last 7-8 months been like for you?
There's a sense in which it's been a nightmare.
Pause it for 1 second. The idea that this guy is an amazing supporter of the Jewish community, where he tells a significant portion of the Jewish community, you're a bad Jew because I don't like your international politics. I would say to the host, go F yourself. Mm-hmm. And then I would turn to Ritchie Torres and say, incidentally, go F yourself.
While we're on the topic of the host, I just want to note Leo Leibovitz, who asked that question, was my NYU professor who invited Tim Pool to lecture at the class about a decade or so ago.
Okay.
So,
nice. Well, Tablet is a conservative magazine.
Also an NRA member.
So I'm glad Torres represents a pretty blue district, but on a conservative radio show to tell other people, who they are and why he can define it.
Insinuating that you're only kind of expressing pro-Israel views to get support of, shall we say, people who control all the media and the banks. And I wonder, before we even dive into the issues, you've been such an amazing vocal supporter of the Jewish community of Israel, getting a lot of flack for it. What have the last 7-8 months been like for you?
There's a sense in which it's been a nightmare. There's no issue on which I face more hate, harassment, and death threats than on the issue of Israel. Even my mother's been the target of harassment. There were activists who said to my mother, "You're a genocide mother, and you should have aborted your son." It's put strain on personal relationships. I have a sibling who has jumped on the Free Palestine bandwagon. We have not spoken.
1 second. It sounds like maybe his sibling said to his mom, you should have aborted Ritchie.
We would have a genocide in the family.
I'm trying to parse what he's saying here, but it sounds like a family member went to his mom and said, you should have aborted Ritchie.
Also, I've given my brother a death threat before.
They're not speaking. Apparently.
Well, that's probably because he probably blocked him on Twitter.
Right.
God.
You're a genocide mother, and you should have aborted your son. It's put strain on personal relationships. I have a sibling who has jumped on the Free Palestine bandwagon. We have not spoken in months. I don't know if I could share this, but it's actually had an effect on my dating life. There are people who will not go on dates with me because I'm pro-Israel.
Hell yeah.
I'll tell one quick story if it's not too personal. I went on a date with someone who I'm openly gay, for the record. And this person said, Richie, I support everything you stand for except one issue. And I said, what's the issue? He said, Israel. And when I said that I was a Zionist, he reacted as if I had uttered the word Nazi. So I proceeded to explain what the word Zionism meant. And then at the end of the date, he asked for my number. So I put in the notes section, Ritchie Torres, your favorite Zionist.
Hilarious.
That is a not funny story, but I'm glad. I'm glad to hear that it's hurting his dates, and I'm glad that his brother told his mother to have aborted Ritchie. If that's what happened.
If you want to get on the show, Mr. Torres, 646-257-3920.
100%. We will not block you.
I love how surprised he is that as dating somebody, I don't know, either in DC or maybe New York, where he's a representative from, one of the more liberal places on the planet, that people might have a problem with the fact that you support a genocide of the Palestinian
Would he date
people.
somebody who wanted to free Palestine?
Right. That's a good point.
And here's the other part that I find interesting. They jump on my brother jumped on the bandwagon. Like, first off, I get the sense that Ritchie Torres' brother probably thought he was an a-hole before then. And but the idea that, like, the idea that it's somehow just some type of, like, this I find really the most sort of like infuriating part about it. The idea that to have an issue with 30, 40,000, maybe 200,000 people dead in Gaza is a hip thing to do, to be worried about a genocide.
A fad.
I find that disgusting.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yes, I'm glad
his personal life is breaking down, though. Mission
I
accomplished
was
there.
just about to say, I wanted to encourage anybody in the gay community who is on a dating app and sees Ritchie Torres, or it sounds like maybe he went to some type of speed dating type of situation, right? Because after the date, he gave him his number, which is a weird time to do it. But it sounds like it could have been a speed dating situation. I would encourage
They met on an app. Probably met up, then exchanged numbers, right? That's how it works now.
I don't, but yeah. That's not the way I used to sequence it, but that's all right.
Also, waste Ritchie's time. Like, go on dates with him, and then have him pay for them. And
exactly.
Then, say,
and
like,
then break
by the
his
way,
heart.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Say, well, order watermelon for dessert or something like that, and then and then use that as an opportunity to say, yeah, I'm not going out with you.
Yeah. Well, Ritchie, while you're experiencing the horrific plight of not being able to get laid, children in Gaza are experiencing not getting
laid
limbs.
either. The Palestinians have a tough time getting their romantic life off the ground at this point.
Right, a little bit. So, perhaps you can empathize.
All right, I know you got something going on, don't you? You're going to go on that other show.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, folks, I'm sorry we didn't get to as many calls as we'd hoped, but tomorrow we only have one guest, and we very well might get to calls in the first half of the show. I know.
You have no idea how verbose Owen is.
Oh, really? Is it going to take us, like, we're going to be talking all I mean, that probably is the case.
I mean, we'll see if I get a question in. That's the question. That'll be the over-under for tomorrow. 1.5.
All right, let's read some IMs. Ramona Frankenstein, Ritchie Torres is actually getting so little bussy that people he slept with can get a financial compensation for their hardships. I'm getting a lot of I don't know if I want to.
Come on.
The Millwind. Sam, the problem is you're C-blocking Torres. Gay Jessen, when he told his friend he was a Zionist, they looked at him like he was a Nazi, and he did not understand the reaction. The exactly same way the Nazis don't understand why they had opposition. Every time he says, Sam says they'll take calls in the first half, it never happens, says Noah. Hack all things. Sam, say Bussy again. All right.
Well, you just did.
There you go.
Whoopsie.
Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.